The future challenges to the collection in the Bodleian Library, disaster planning and collection preservation, Group 12. The Bodleian Library is the first library for Oxford University and was founded in 1320, with the library being open to scholars in 1602. In 1610, an agreement was reached for the library to receive a copy of every book published in England and registered with the Stationers' Hall. This was the start of the library becoming a legal deposit library. By looking into disaster planning and collection preservation techniques, we will investigate ways to safeguard the future of the Bodleian Library. There are many disasters that will affect library collections. According to the Australian Library and Information Association, disasters are divided into three major categories. First, natural disasters, which includes floods, earthquakes, and insect and pest infestation. Second is accidents and technical failures, like water leaks and equipment failures. The third is vandalism and criminal damage, like violent attacks and arson. We can't stop disasters, but we can do some preparation in advance to reduce the damage to the collection. When a disaster occurs, you should first remain calm, then notify the team leader and their prevention conservation team, which is responsible for salvaging collections in emergency situations, and follow their directions. If the incident is not endangering to staff and users, take immediate actions to prevent damage. In referring to the University of Tasmania Library's disaster plan, the staff moved materials away from affected areas and moved to an area for recording and packing materials, such as freezing, air drying, wet material, and other treatment area. Next, check the floor plan and look for any special, valuable, or rare collections in the affected area. All libraries have pre-prepared kits to deal with emergencies. So, if available, staff can use the emergency kit to process and protect items from the collection. For example, the staff can use cleaning equipment to clean the surface of the item, then place it on plastic boxes and write down the cause of the damage. According to the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutes, after floods, mold rapidly begins to form in damp conditions. Therefore, if the disaster is flooding, staff need to transport water-damaged items to the nearest freezing facility. When disaster strikes, all normal services will be suspended. So, after the disaster, the site needs to be cleaned and restored to normality as soon as possible. Staff can replace the treated materials in the newly renovated site so that normal access can be restored. Information presented on our website states that preservation of the collection is vital, with our library already implementing a number of new preservation measures. These include environmental monitoring and research, new pest management strategies, new methods in handling and use of collection items, and ensuring suitable and up-to-date materials are used for the storage and display of items from the collection. Some of the new collection preservation initiatives already in place include environmental monitoring of the collection, as this avoids deterioration of items due to fading, mold damage, and more. Updated training for both staff and collection users about the correct handling and use of collection items, as well as keeping up to date with trialling with new preservation methods for all items in the collection, is essential in ensuring item preservation. Many factors go into the preservation of a collection, but effective environmental control can be used as a leading strategy to help the deterioration of items in the collection. Effective environmental control can also be linked to help pest management, as it makes items in the collection less attractive to pests. While the Bodleian Library does implement a number of new preservation initiatives, as the collection continues to grow, keeping up to date with new research on environmental monitoring will be a key factor in ongoing preservation. Storage is another essential element of collection preservation. Ensuring that storage and display materials are made with products to help preserve the collection and individual items will decrease deterioration. While the library already has a policy to remain current in this manner, maintaining this is essential. Digitization is another way to help preserve the collection, as digital surrogates limit the damaging effect caused by continued handling. Digitization, or reformatting, enables items to be preserved digitally, but also has the added benefit of focusing on the information presented in the item rather than the item itself. Digitization is limited to what can be afforded, but if properly invested would lead to less handling of fragile and delicate items. The Scientific Library of TSU has been digitizing their collection since 2000. To do this, they use special scanning equipment to do the digitization, and fragile and delicate items are restored before they are digitized. Once the item has been restored and digitized, it is then placed in microclimate containers and is no longer physically available. By going through and methodically restoring and digitizing items in the collection would ensure that the items are handled less, meaning that there will be less degradation due to handling. This would also mean that in the event of a disaster, if the physical item was lost or destroyed, there would be a digital copy, ensuring the information would not be lost. Having digital surrogates of items held by the library also means that they will be more accessible. Items can be viewed by users around the world via the internet instead of just being limited to people who physically visit the library. This would enable the Bodleian to keep up with emerging international trends as digitization is becoming a major factor in access. By using a mixture of disaster planning and current preservation techniques, we can safeguard the future of the Bodleian Library's collections for future generations. Thank you for joining, and if you're interested in researching further into disaster planning and collection preservation, please see our reference material.